Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again, the vlogs of DP. It has been very long. I know, right? And it almost looks like I come back to tell you guys that it has been very long. But no, to be honest, this has been the longest break of all I've had from social media. The reason being, my channel is always about information, how I tackle problems, how I came across this life situation. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് സംഭവിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്, ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെയാണോ അതിനെ ടാക്കിൾ ചെയ്തത്. സോ ദീസ് ആർ ദ ടിപ്സ് ആൻഡ് സീക്രറ്റ്സ് ഫ്രം എക്സ്പീരിയൻസസ് ഓഫ് മൈ ലൈഫ്. എൻ്റെ ഈ വ്ളോഗിൽ ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ it's mostly about my MBBS journey. Like, how did I end up being a doctor? How did I come into this journey? What problems did I tackle during this due course of time? അപ്പോൾ എന്തൊക്കെ വന്നു, അതൊക്കെയാണ് ഞാൻ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, സോ ദാറ്റ് ദോസ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻസ് ബിക്കം മോർ ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ ടു യു ഓൾ ഹു എവർ വാച്ചസ് ദിസ് ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ജസ്റ്റ് ഈസസ് യുവർ പ്രോസസ്, യു നോ. എനിക്ക് ആ സമയത്ത് ഈ പറഞ്ഞ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ, ഈ ലൈക്ക് വൈഡ് അവൈലബിലിറ്റി ഓഫ് ഇൻ്റർനെറ്റ്, ഇതൊന്നും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇവിടെ നിന്നൊക്കെ കേൾക്കുന്ന ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ, പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ കഫേയിലൊക്കെ പോയി ഗൂഗിളൊക്കെ ചെയ്തുണ്ടാക്കുന്ന കുറച്ച് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ. സോ ദീസ് വർ ദ ബിറ്റ്സ് ഓഫ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഗ്യാതേർഡ് ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ഐ പുട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ടു യൂസ്. സോ അത് ഇനി വരുന്ന ലൈക്ക് മൈ ജൂനിയേഴ്സ് ഓർ ലൈക്ക് ഹൂ എവർ ഇറ്റ് മേ ബി എനി യങ്ങർ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ്, അവർക്കിത് ഡയറക്റ്റ്ലി കേട്ട് ലൈക്ക് ഇഫ് എവറിഥിങ് ഈസ് പുട്ട് ഇൻ ടു വൺ വീഡിയോ, വൺ ക്ലിപ്പ് ഓർ ജസ്റ്റ് ഇൻ ടു വൺ പ്ലേസ്, it's more easier, right? അപ്പോൾ ബാക്കിയുള്ള അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇവിടെ നിന്ന് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ കിട്ടുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് വാട്ട് ഐ ഇൻറ്റൻറ്റഡ് ടു ഡു ഫ്രം social media. Like, അപ്പോൾ recently, like lot of you been asking me, how did I end up being a doctor in Qatar? How did I start working in Qatar immediately after my internship? How did I get a job? How to get one? What are the criteria? What are the requirements? അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ frequently every now and then I get questions. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ I wasn't coming forward. ഞാൻ ഇതിനെ പറ്റിയിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് വീഡിയോ ഇനീഷ്യലി ഞാൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ടില്ല. ലൈക്ക് ദ റീസൺ ബീയിങ് I was in the same situation as well. So I was at a point where I'm gathering informations and I am putting it to use. അപ്പോൾ അത് പക്ഷേ അത് വർക്കൗട്ട് ആയാലല്ലേ എനിക്കൊരു വീഡിയോ ആയിട്ട് ഇടാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ബിക്കോസ് ഞാൻ പല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ട്രൈ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് വർക്കിംഗ് ഔട്ട്, മീൻസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ഇഫക്റ്റീവ്. അപ്പോൾ എഫക്റ്റീവായി എനിക്ക് വർക്കൗട്ട് ആയ കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഐ പുട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ത്രൂ ദ വീഡിയോ, സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഫാക്ട് and it becomes more useful and more easier for me to convey. I was in my next step of life. I was into my next step of profession, so I had to tackle a lot of problems. I came across a lot of problems that I didn't expect. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പം എല്ലാം മാറി, ഞാൻ സെറ്റിൽ ആയിരുന്നല്ല, ബട്ട് ഐ ഹാവ് മോർ ക്ലാരിറ്റി. I have more clarity of what I want to be, what I want to do, what are the next steps. So these are the things that I'm going to share through this vlog. So let's start first with like what after MBBS, right? So you have multiple options. It depends on like what you want to be in future. So I want to be a clinician desperately because I feel like I have the skills for it. പക്ഷേ ഖത്തറിൽ ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ആർ ലൈക്ക് വെരി ലിമിറ്റഡ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ. സോ I knew I would come back to this country കാരണം I am sort of born here, and so I have a lot of privileges in here and all my family is here. So I came back to Qatar. Why, if you were ever wondering why did I choose Qatar even in spite of having very low options. And the kayyuka kaicholing, so I think we'll stay here, okay, for some time. So if you are coming to Qatar, your options are, you have residency in Hamad. So HMC is the only place in Qatar that provides you residency. Second thing is to be a physician scientist. So you can Google down these terms, like just note down these terms and you can Google it down. What does it do? What happens? How do you pursue it? What is your outcome from these branches? So you can just note down these names. So it's like residency, being a resident, you can pursue your specialty. Second is being a physician scientist. That's another option. And another one is like work as a GP. So first, for residency, you have 2 exams. Okay, you should be qualified in either one of the exams. Either it's USMLE or it's IFOM. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ രണ്ടിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു എക്സാം ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഓൾസോ IELTS or TOEFL or OET any one of these English proficiency exam shall be also passed. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ recommendation letters and അപ്പം വേണ്ട documents, it's all there on the site. HMC residency എന്ന് അടിച്ചു കൊടുത്താൽ തന്നെ Google shows you all the details of what you need and what are the cut-off scores and everything. So ഇത്രയും attempt ചെയ്ത് and if you have research works and paper works also is very helpful. It just builds up your CV and it's more appealing. അപ്പോൾ അതൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you can apply. But now since last year they have also put in a criteria where Arabic is mandatory. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you can apply for residency. Your second option to work is a GP in Qatar. If you have no connections with Qatar, if you are completely new to Qatar, no PR, no not sponsored by father, not born in Qatar, like no background from Qatar, then you have no other option. You have to get 5 years of experience, clinical experience. After that does not include your internship. So after internship, 5 years of clinical experience, and also you should clear your prometric exam. ഇത് രണ്ടും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ you can approach hospitals from India, and if they need doctors and they are ready to take you in, then they'll help you with the licensing procedures. Allah, if you want to come to Qatar and then apply in Norimbo, again you need to have 5 years of experience and cleared prometric. First of all, data flow cheyam. All the certificates should undergo data flow. So they'll tell you that you put all your certificates through a process, and they will verify that these are original certificates, and then you can use those certificates here in Qatar. Adinishesham you apply for evaluation. പക്ഷേ ഈ evaluation apply ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് there should be a hospital that's ready to accept you. So why do you need a hospital before you apply for evaluation is that once you apply for evaluation, first of all, on the first step itself, they ask you which hospital are you applying to, and you need to have that hospital name and the sector already mentioned in the evaluation before you apply for it. And once you apply for evaluation, the next step is that it goes to the HR of the hospital that you applied. There are like a couple of papers that they need to put in, and after that they submit it to the MOPH, and then they go through all the information, and then they accept, and then they tell you like you might need these many months of training, or if you have all the experiences, valid experiences that went through data flow and has been verified, they might give you approval to practice as a GP. So ഇതാണ് ഒരു നാട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു 5 years experience with prometric exam cleared ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാൾക്ക് undergo ചെയ്യാനുള്ള process. However, you need a hospital to take you in before you apply for evaluation and your license. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ നാട്ടിലെ പോലെ കയ്യിൽ ലൈസൻസ് വെച്ചിട്ട് like you can't go multiple places and work. You work at one hospital, you will have a license under their name. If you're not working at any hospitals, you cannot keep a license in Qatar. So you have to be a practicing physician to keep the license. So that's the thing about an experienced doctor, like after MBBS. Okay, now coming to a fresh grad, like if you have zero experience after internship, but you want to work in Qatar, you can come here under whoever, like if you have a husband, or if you are coming individually under somebody's sponsorship, you can come here and you can, same like an experienced person, you can hunt down places to take you in as a GP supervised. This term GP supervised, you can write it down and Google it as well. So this is one privilege that they give in Qatar. You can gain your experience like 5 years from Qatar as well, working as a GP supervised under any hospital if they are ready to take you as GP supervised, which is very difficult. Karanam, you cannot, as a GP supervised, you cannot prescribe any medicine unless and otherwise your head approves. So you cannot be a free physician to prescribe. You are GP supervised. You are GP under supervision. So this has to be for 5 years if you are not born in Qatar, if you don't have a PR, or if you are not under the sponsorship of your father. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും ഈ ഒരു പ്രിവിലേജ് ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ you have to have a 5-year experience and write your prometric after the 5 years experience as a GP supervised in Qatar. Now if you have any of these privileges, you can come to Qatar and hunt down a hospital that can keep you as a GP supervised. You just have to work for 2 years. These 2 years should be exclusively from Qatar. It can't be from anywhere else in the world. So you can work here in Qatar 2 years as GP supervised. If you have all the privileges, any one of the privilege, you can work here. You don't have to write the exam. You don't have to appear for the prometric. After completion of this period, they'll tell you, once you apply for evaluation, the evaluation report comes back saying that you have to work for so and so months as a GP supervised, or 2 years as a GP supervised, and then you can work as a GP after that. Okay, so you don't need an exam after that. Now, there are posts put up as physician assistant in HMC, which by my knowledge is not being accepted anymore. Okay, I don't know anybody personally who works as a physician assistant in the government sector. That's sort of a different category, so I did not consider those options. And let me tell you, just don't keep that in mind and come here and hunt down, because it's almost like non-existing. So I did work as a GP supervised for like I did have my experience. I can go as a GP, as a clinician, but I chose to come to the research field because I'm planning to grow in my career. So working as a GP in Qatar is more like settling as a GP. I came into this field as a research associate because now I have papers coming up being published in PubMed and elsewhere. So you can Google the term physician scientist. You can be a research assistant, research coordinator, research associate. So there was a post for research associate in here. I already worked on a small project before I joined as a research associate, while I was working as a physician assistant during the COVID time. So there was a physician assistant post during the COVID time, and it was temporary and it doesn't exist anymore. So that's the reason why I told you that it is almost non-existent now. So during those time, I did a paper, and perhaps that's the reason why I got an opportunity here. It's not because I applied anywhere, or like if you're asking me the information where to apply, how to apply, there are like research fields in Qatar where you can Google down and apply, but it's not what I did. I did a paper and it was sort of recognized, and that's how I got the interview call, I think so. So your next option to work as a physician scientist is you can also be a volunteer as a researcher in multiple places in Qatar, like Hamad, Sidra, Al Ahli. So there are like Qatar University. So there are many places that have research works going on in Qatar. So you can, since you have a background as a physician, as you are an MBBS graduate, you will be titled as a physician scientist with couple of papers being published, and you becoming an expert in research. So that's what it is about. So what am I currently doing is, yes, I'm putting my effort into research, and we have clinical researchers, we have retrospective, like non-clinical researchers. So I am learning my opportunities in this, and I need more knowledge in research, because while I was working as a clinician, I definitely had many whys, many queries. Why is that not happening? Why can't you do this? You could have tried that. So we work as a clinician from the outcome of all the research project, like all the research works that has been done in the past. So they do multiple researches and then they approve certain things, and we as clinicians practice it. So when I was a clinician, I would always have that doubt, why wouldn't you do that? We could have tried that instead of that. So here I am in a position where if I have a question, I'm developing skills to solve it as well. So this is, both are giving. And these papers and everything that I work on is gonna support me for whatever I wanna be in my future. Like, I know where I'm going, where I'm heading to, which I definitely don't want to share now, because I feel like until I'm there, I cannot share it. So let it be that way. So this is how I'm looking forward to being a research associate, being a physician scientist. Like, I am working with papers, I'm gaining more knowledge, which I wouldn't have if I was working as a GP. it's more like a support. It's more rewarding. It's you have more knowledge, you have more expertise, you have multiple things here as a physician scientist. I so this was a trial for me initially, but I liked it a lot, and this is the reason why I'm still continuing it. So these are your options in Qatar, and the reason why I hadn't shared all of this information in the past is because I just shared with you all like multiple informations that took me years to understand. Every door I would knock, they'd say you don't have that, you don't have this, you have to do that, you have to do this. Now I know, like, okay, this is what is happening, and this is what I should have done. So whoever who is looking forward to coming to Qatar and like is clueless, doesn't know what to do, or who is here and is like, I don't know what to do next. I just took an MBBS. So here are your options. Like, you can try these, but all this requires a lot of effort. Like, if you need an institution to hire you, you need to knock all the doors, you need to go to them. So that's all about it, and I really hope those informations help you. I really hope that it has added to your knowledge, and so all the best. Don't forget to share whatever it is on the comment section, and if you think that this is going to be of any use to your friends, don't forget to share. And I will try posting as often as I can, and if you have any questions, do not worry, you can post it in the comment section. I will go through them, I will definitely reply to them, and yes, I will try my max to put up videos on whatever doubts you guys have. So all the best, take care, bye bye.